boys and girls, and welcome to the concession stand here on the KB Radio Network. I am your host, Kevin Reed, and this is the review of Pixar Animation Studios, brought to us by Walt Disney Pictures, Inside Out 2, the sequel to Inside Out, which came out in 2015. This film is directed by Kelsey Mann in his directorial debut, and it stars Amy Poehler, Phyllis Smith, Louis Black, Diane Lane, and Maya Hawke, Tony Hale, Ayo Edebali, and Paul Walter Hausen. This is a film that I was highly anticipating this year. I am a huge fan of Inside Out. I remember going to the theater to see that with my girls, and they enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it as well. That's one thing about Pixar. When you take your kids, if your kids are a certain age, take them to a little kiddie movie, but the adults, the parents, get something out of it just as much as the kids do, and Inside Out did that. And this go around, being as though we're almost 10 years removed from the original film, I guess we had to grow up as well. In the lead character of Riley grows up, so it makes sense around this time that the character is at a certain age, because the kids who watched this original film back in 2015 are of a certain age for the most part. The film tells the story of Riley's emotions as they find themselves joined by new emotions that want to take over Riley's mind. This go around, I can honestly say, once again, Pixar got me again. got me crying again. This hit home. This film, oh man, I can take Pixar and just slap them across the face. It just say, look, stay out of my bedroom, stay out of my head. You are speaking to me. This was an amazing film, and I was kind of skeptical, because whenever you get into sequels to films that you can deem classics or deem untouchable, how can you add on to the story? It gets scary, because I was kind of scared by that. I mean, where can we go from Inside Out? Well, Riley's a teenager now. Riley has new emotions now, and we can all relate. And that's the beauty of this film, of both films. You can relate to this character and the emotions that she's going through. And I know, as a young girl, and I'm a 40-year-old man, 45-year-old man to be exact, and we don't have any similarities here. What a girl goes through and what I went through as a teenager, but they found a way to touch in on all the emotions that everybody can go through. It wasn't just relegated to a teenage girl. I felt it was something that everybody can relate to. One of the main characters that enters into this fray is in anxiety, and anxiety is an emotion that that I have been dealing with, still dealing with now. And the way it was depicted in this film, and anxiety is voiced by Maya Hawke, who we may know from Stranger Things. She's also the daughter of Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman. And so she's a phenomenal actress. I loved her on Stranger Things. I loved her in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She's really good, and coming from some really good genes there, so it's expected that she's going to be good. But she voices the character of anxiety in this film, and boy, I felt it. I felt all the anxiety. We already know the emotions from the first film: joy, sadness, fear, anger, disgust. But to add this anxiety, to add embarrassment, to add envy, all and other emotions here, it was like, wow, that's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer to extend this franchise. Of course, we're gonna go into puberty, And one night while they're there, the puberty alarm goes off in the brain, in headquarters, and that's when all of these new emotions move in, and it was just a hectic situation, and the movie takes off from there. It didn't have that emotional loss like you did in the first film with the character of Bing Bong. Man, that tore you up. I don't care who you are. If you watch that film and that scene, that last scene with Bing Bong, oh my God. Niagara Falls, people. Niagara Falls. This film didn't have that, but it did get me, I guess, personally. And I took it personally because, you know, I'm dealing with these emotions or have dealt with these emotions at that time and didn't know what was going on. And there's a scene when you see Riley catch a panic attack, and I still catch him to this day. And for her not to know what to do, like she having a heart attack, she don't know. It was. I saw myself in her, and I started to have a panic attack just watching her because I know what she's going through. And this is an animated film. It blew my mind. I was really impressed on how much care was given to the mental health aspect of this story, and it worked. The story itself was a really good story. It was kind of contained, not a big story. It's just Riley. She goes to this camp, for hockey. She plays hockey, uh, and she's trying to prove herself with the high schoolers. She's still in middle school and about to go to high school, but she wants to prove herself and try to fit in and all this. You know how it was. You know how it was when you was in school, and this is what she was going through, trying to fit in with the it crowd and all this here, and the friends that she had, her best friends, kind of leaving them behind because she wants to fit in with the new crew. It all touches in on that, and I think that was respected well. It was just done so well, and I really loved how this story flowed. The voice actors here, I already mentioned Maya Hawke as Anxiety, did a phenomenal job, but Amy Poehler, who reprises her role as Joy, I think took it to another level. Took it to another level in this film, and she had me kind of, the tear ducts were starting to fill up in a couple of scenes. I refused to let it fall over, but eventually I succumbed to it. But she was tugging, boy. She was tugging, and did a great job. There really was no bad voice actors here. The young lady who provides the voice of Riley, I think this is her first film, which I'm shocked by. Kensington Tallman, yeah, did a great job. I loved her in this film. The animation was gorgeous as well. The animation was done by Industrial Light and Magic. Beautiful animation in this film, and to the point where outside of the mind, the emotion characters, when we're in the quote unquote reality, the animation was so good. I really had to convince myself that this was an animated film. I mean, it looked that good. I mean, they moved the little tweaks, the little eye twitches and things like that. It's so much attention to detail. You got to give respect to these animators who does these films and television shows even. What an amazing job animating this film. It looked amazing. I cannot recommend this film any higher than it has already been recommended so far this year. As it stands right now, it's the highest grossing film of the year, and it's only been out a week. So that should let you know how much of an impact this film is having on the world. Inside Out 2, which is currently in theaters, gets a letter grade of an A. Yes, it is truly a one of Pixar's best, and I am so happy that I got to see it before with the screaming and all that other good stuff. I wanted to see it before it left theaters and whatnot, but this is a amazing film. Please go check it out, even if you don't have kids. Even even if you don't have kids, go check it out. Now, don't look like a creeper when you go in the theater by yourself, but just go check it out. I promise you, you would not be disappointed. This is a really good film that all ages can enjoy. But I would love to know, have you checked out Inside Out 2? Were you a fan of the first Inside Out? And do you think they're going to make any more? I don't know. I don't know if they can go deep into the late teenage years with it. I think we ought to stop while we ahead, but that's just my opinion. I would love to know yours. Email the show, kbradiopodcast@gmail.com. You can also search for the show on all social media platforms. Just search for the KB Radio Network. Also, subscribe to the KB Radio Network channel on YouTube and like this video if you don't mind. Don't forget about the 5 stars, the reviews, and sharing this show. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you are currently listening to the concession stand here on the KB Radio Network. Everybody, thank you for joining me for this review of Inside Out 2. Want you all to know that I love you. Continue to love everyone. And until we speak again, you all be blessed.